What are you doing?
I might go underneath with these.
Here, I got this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You okay? Oh,
There you go.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah,
You're-
use
Are
go
you
go
serious right now?
yeah.
That was,
go Joshy arms.
I mean, my arm's only as long as the table.
So
Oh,
you did see
goodness.
as my arm just grew from this point on.
Go gadget arm.
Oh my goodness, you guys are killing me.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's good. That's good. I think that we're
You know,
rushed. Make sure everybody can hear us. Hey, how's everybody going?
Everyone
Hello,
in.
everybody.
We've got a lot of. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Popping
There
up.
it
popping
is.
up. All right.
Omega, you are the first.
Oh yes. So we are coming to you live a little bit early. There's a reason.
There's an ice storm.
There's a crazy ice
going
storm
on right now.
Yeah, and
Just sleeting all day.
I think it's Stefan's scared too, right?
It's starting to accumulate.
Is it you, Stefan?
Me?
Are you scared?
I've been driving
No.
back and forth between manufacturing and HQ because we can't use the driving range.
Yeah.
It's real. It's
Oh,
definitely real. Even in the Jeep, it's real.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
it's gonna be a fun ride home.
Flemley first.
Yeah, I might. If I'm glad you still have the tow strap hooked to the back of your Jeep.
I can't untie it.
I know. I'm sorry.
So I got a Jeep we affectionately called Ducky.
Yes.
And Ducky
Ducky.
was trying to pull people out. By the way, I'm upgrading to a winch because Ducky can't pull anything out with a 4-cylinder.
Well, yeah,
It just spins tire.
That's all right.
But
it looks cool.
but I
though.
got a tow strap tied, and we tied it so tight I can't untie it. So I was like, I'll just bundle it up, and
hanging on your spare tire.
it,
in the back.
looks hardcore.
Oh, it
It
does.
looks really hardcore. So
Yeah, you're the redneck that goes around and snatches people
Dude.
out of the ditch.
yeah, boy, we just jumped right into this, didn't we? Today we
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't even gotten the music yet.
Oh, dang!
There it is.
Yeah,
Now we can start the show.
nice.
Jeff Poole.
Jeff,
you, sir.
Jeffrey.
hey Jeff, how'd the surgery go, man?
Yeah,
What happened?
that's dedication.
Yeah, he had surgery. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Nobody tells me anything.
Well, he just told us yesterday. Hey, by the way, dude, we're going under the knife.
You doing
What?
okay, buddy?
I hope so.
Yeah, obviously he's doing somewhat okay.
Well,
He's-
we'll see how
unless
he,
somebody else is posting for him
Right.
and spending his own money. That'd be
Spend-
terrible.
If somebody else says spend. No, we'll see with his comments.
Oh,
Maybe.
he's
still waiting to go
down.
What do you
All
mean?
right, man.
Waiting, still
That
waiting to
means
go
he's in the
down.
waiting room.
Oh, dang!
to go
Sorry.
into surgery.
All right.
Oh,
We'll keep us posted as you're waiting, and we're praying for you, brother. We love you.
yeah,
Love you,
praying
bro.
for it. And hey, if you can, like, put it on camera mode so we can record. Have you ever seen
Please
that?
don't listen to anything that Lee says.
Come on
Oh
now.
my gosh, that's bad.
Like you weren't thinking of. You've never seen that the like the ER
Under the
live?
knife kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
no,
they go in with scopes and.
I don't. It's not my business to ask what's going on with them, so I don't want to take any chances. We may not want to see that.
Okay. I just.
Yeah, you might not want that out for the world to see.
I
either.
know Jeff really well. I don't want to know him that well.
Well, I know Jeff really well too, but it's
Yeah.
not. But everybody always says it's not all, what's on the outside; it's what's on the inside that counts. I just want to see what's on the inside.
All right, moving on. Moving on.
Oh my gosh,
I'm saying we move on.
we are moving on.
Jeff
Move
laughed
I
though,
said-
so I guess that's a
I
good sign.
second that.
Yes. I agree.
As you
Totally
can
agree.
see here, we have had our famed goldfish back in action as
This-
always.
This is the last time this bag will be seen, and there's a good reason for that, isn't there, Lee?
Because you're almost. Are they almost gone?
No.
Well, then I don't think it's going to be the last time. Here,
Well-
let's put it right here.
Well, we got a gift. I'm trying to
Oh.
segue into the.
We got a gift that's in the back of my wife's car.
Yes. So
30 minutes north of here.
last Friday,
Yeah.
it's Friday, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
last Friday, we went and had our first FTCA collaboration indoor flying event, which, by
Boom.
the way, crazy huge success.
Oh,
Superb.
amazing!
Absolutely amazing.
Tripled the pilots'
Yeah,
attendance. It was
yeah.
just nuts.
And, I mean, I look forward to unpacking this later on the show because it's kind of when you get to see something that's in your head and you get to see it acting in real life,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yes, this can work.
Yes.
This can do it. So,
Yes.
So, yep. Long story short, a great gentleman named Mark Sturmer, and then I believe it was Jason Bennett, right?
JB.
Yes.
Jason Bennett and a lot of other great volunteers. They hold a regular indoor flying event at the Kent State Fieldhouse.
Mhm.
And they usually get, I think it's like 20 30 people maybe. And that
Yes.
just barely covers the cost of getting into the event and renting it. Okay. So it's $20 a head. You got like 2 hours. FTCA partnered with Mark Sturmer and that group and basically put a donation in there. And then we also blasted it out to our other community members.
Yeah.
And if we well over doubled it, if not tripled it.
Oh,
And
we easily tripled it.
It was amazing.
It was crazy. I mean,
awesome.
but also it shows that you can have an AMA, I guess, active run event, and you can bring energy to it through the FTCA in this awesome community, and they can all get along.
Oh, we didn't have any trouble at all.
Nothing. A matter of fact,
Enjoyable.
the coolest thing,
Yeah.
I had more people that had not seen foam board airplanes up close
Yeah.
that were flying. We were playing past the transmitter, destroying all the nanoflurkins.
Yeah, I
It's
hit a
like-
girder.
Lee hit a girder.
I hit a girder.
Tell them about the girder hit, because I think it was a beautiful death.
Well, so it hit the girder. So I mean, it was about the 40-yard line. So it was way high up there, and it hit the girder, and it just started like flat spinning down. But I saved it,
Mhm.
and then I took it off down towards the end zone and smacked into the wall,
And then blew it in half.
and then blew it in half.
Boom.
But
We learned something about the nanoflurkin, though. We're going to need to use some tape around the wings, because when we peel the paper on the inside to lighten it up,
Yeah.
it makes it weak. So it was like
Mhm.
a beautiful, awesome flying Fabergé egg, and we can't have that. It's
No.
not,
Nope.
not the flight test way.
It's not.
No.
Crashing is, but
Crashing.
not so much the
Yeah.
explosion.
But here's where we're getting at. Jason Bennett, Mark
Mhm.
Sturmer, and a whole bunch of other guys, they know about the goldfish, and so
Oh,
they
yeah.
loaded us up with like every snack from goldfish to like oh my god,
we had
like,
gummy snacks,
snacks.
granola bars,
everything. And
pretzels.
they're like-
I mean, everything.
they're like, you got to put this all on the table. Well, if we put it on the table, you want to see us.
No,
So, but you know, I was thinking, what do we do with all that food?
You did?
I think next time we have a live build,
yeah,
we have snacks now.
we have
Hmm.
snack.
Yes, you know, you don't just build a
LBS.
plane; you
Yes.
sugar up too.
Because
Yes.
that's what we put on when we
So-
eat those things.
Yes.
I will take all the favorite snacks for myself first.
Yes.
Yeah, but
then,
well, I mean, as long as those snacks don't have carbohydrates, because our friend Steven Rosema here, he's going to get on a kick about how carbohydrates are like crack cocaine, and he lives in Arizona where it's warm, and we're here and it's cold. And you know what, buddy? It's a good thing you're part of
Rub
the
it
flight
in.
test team, because if not, we would
Oh,
already
man.
voted you off the island.
oh, by the way, Steven, I love the new liveries of the P40.
Oh man, they're
They are amazing.
beautiful.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, Steven does all the graphics and liveries for the Master Series that John Overstreet designs, and they call them Sky FX, Sky
Mhm.
Foxtrot X-ray, and that is down to the rivets. This guy is a historian every way. It's just pretty darn awesome. So
Oh yeah,
good stuff.
Phenomenal.
it is.
Yeah, phenomenal week.
I was just reading some of the
Yeah.
comments. Sorry.
Well, don't read too hard, because we have limited edition coffee mugs here.
Is that why you moved it closer to mine? Because
Yeah.
I almost grabbed yours.
No, I moved yours, so if you're looking at the screen, yours, so we
I
can
like
see.
that. It's all about the
see-
marketing.
It's
isn't it?
marketing, right? It's subliminal messages,
Subliminal advertising.
right? And it's great
Oh.
coffee that's inside of it.
Love it. Signed up for my first Flight Fest. Whoop. That is awesome, brother. Do me a favor.
Oh,
A lot of people come to Flight Fest and they're like, oh, we don't want to go up to the Flight Test guys. I'm sure they're busy. We love talking to you. So if it's your first Flight Fest,
Mhm.
you better come up and say hi to every single one of us because we want to meet you.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
High fives and
Yeah.
happies. Yes.
Yeah. And speaking of whoop, it's funny because I was like, whoop, whoop, tiny whoop.
yeah. Tiny Whoops
The
gonna be there.
whoops are on the way too.
Whoops are yeah, well, almost on the way. Yes,
Almost on the way.
yes, they'll be here before we know it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Chinese New Year has decided to pull a fast one on us, as they always do. And
Right.
so we'll be delaying that just a tad.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
Hey, that's
Yep.
all right. They have their celebrations.
Yeah, they'll be here before you know it.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome too.
Have we talked about that?
What's that? The Whoops.
The whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
A little bit
Yeah.
here and there.
But before we get into anything like that, there was something that you promised
Oh, yes.
the community that you would talk about.
Yes, the passwords to my computer and my bank account.
No,
other
the
than
other-
that,
the
other
other
than
thing.
that.
The other thing.
Wrong-
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The story of the foam board.
Yeah, how you
Yes.
came to phone board and
Oh,
everything.
yeah. And that was, by the way, I'm loving. I'm like nerding out listening to you guys on. It's Tuesdays, right?
Tuesdays.
Tues-
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. It's I'm sitting there working on a thing, and inevitably I get a thing I forget about every time. I'm like, oh, we're doing a live. I'll play it, and I hear David laughing in the other room, and I'm laughing in the other room, and yeah, it's awesome, man.
Do
It's
you
awesome.
know that there was a post on Facebook that I guess AMA does something similar at the same time that we do it?
Are you serious?
I had no idea. This dude saying he was talking like
Like on Tuesdays and
we're-
stuff.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
that we were trying to do the same thing and everything. And
And in here, I'm gonna,
Hmm.
you know what? I'm gonna confess this. Speaking of doing things the same time that we do it, I was all like, "What in the world's going on here?" I saw just recently we announced our dates for the Flight Fest,
yeah,
and I noticed like 2 days or 3 days ago and stuff. I see this AMA popping up for a fun fly over that weekend too. I'm like,
and members meeting.
and members meeting, and I was
Yep.
like, "Son of a gun! Why would they like double down on that and spread it out thinner?" that's fine. Each their own. But I think they've been having this year after year. They just changed the dates from late July to this. So I'll have to ask Jason. So maybe it's not as awkward as possible, but
Well, I think it's awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're poking the bear. I
we are
guess.
poking the bear. We don't want to do that, but we
No.
are human.
Yes,
We are
don't-
human.
We don't want to poke the bear, but at
Yeah.
the same time, we want to reveal what is the truth and what we need to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're going to fight hard to grow the hobby. And I think the best thing was one of the very first things the FTCA did was go into an AMA sanctioned event to bring activity, energy, and life to it.
Yeah.
We didn't do it for the AMA. We did it for the people in our community,
right,
and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So, but what were we talking? Oh, foam board.
phone.
Why
board.
did you choose foam board?
Why did we choose foam board?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys are right. I am cheap, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to rope people into. No, really good reason for this. I'm going to go back outside of foam board, then I'm going to come into foam board, if that makes sense.
Love that.
Is it okay?
I'll be surprised if you do what you say you're going to do. You follow that track.
I know.
Nah,
Okay, well,
that's all right.
here's the thing. My dad did raise me to be insanely frugal. Back in the day when I got in the hobby, you'd buy a Gentle Lady, yes, for $26, but by the time you got it built with all the covering film and everything like that, you had 4 months and $100 into it, and your radio that was just hold a single model, that was $100, and your battery was $50. It was a huge commitment just to get in the hobby.
Mhm.
And the only reason I got in the hobby was because I had a dad that had the patience of a saint and just loved to encourage me through it. Not a lot of people have that benefit nowadays. So
Mhm.
that was my story getting in the hobby. I would fly a plane for 15 seconds. First plane was a Gentle Lady. We'd pull it back with a rubber band, let it go. I'd immediately steer it into the closest tree and just explode this thing.
We still do that.
We do. I was groomed for this career.
Nice.
But then,
Nice.
fast forward and stuff, all those memories were really special to me. Get married. My wife and I are running a youth ministry at the local church, picking up kids, and I'm going around trying to, basically, reach these kids with the gospel. But also, you cannot tell them about a loving Heavenly Father if they don't like their earthly father.
Mhm.
So I was just really heartbroken because I could go in and I could pick up these kids. They wanted nothing to do with their parents. One of the most impactful, moments was my wife was in the car with the other kids. We had a van full of kids, and I walk in to pick up this young lady, and I'm like, "Hey, I just wanted to meet you. My name's Josh. I'm going to be picking up your daughter. I want you to introduce me to my wife." And go on. And it's like, well, there she is. Take her. This dude didn't know me from Adam.
Mm,
And here I'm 20 something years old, and she's probably 13, 14.
that's crazy.
And this dude is ready to deliver his daughter to a total stranger. First of all, how sick is that?
That's terrible.
And
I want to punch him in the face.
I know, I do. I to this day, it still boils my blood.
Yeah.
Anyway, that started a really deep conviction saying we got to find a way to connect parents with their kids again. And that was when the ministry of what now is Flight Test kind of began. And we called it Fly for Him. And my wife worked on moms, and loved on ladies. I loved on the guys. And this crazy cool hobby was like, well, my dad shaped my life through it. Let's go ahead and bring it back. Well, imagine going up to a total stranger and he's like, hey, you want to fly with your kid? All you need to do is have 4 months of spare time, about $400 to invest, and a lot of frustration to deal with. That sounds
Sign me up.
that's
baby.
awesome. Yeah, let's do it right now.
You get
No.
-5 people.
No,
Right,
it's
right.
and here's the thing. It costs too much. It takes too long. I'm going to crash.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what Flight Test is all about? Is not having to cost a lot,
Right.
not having to take too long, and embracing the crash. You can't do that with balsa wood. And by the way, a lot of people I've seen comments and stuff. They're like, "Oh, Bixler doesn't like balsa wood." I love balsa
He
wood.
loves it.
I love
Mhm.
building. To this day, I think my wife and I are doing the math. I'm almost to the point where I've been with foam board as long as I've been with balsa.
Yeah.
When she married me, I
Wow.
didn't have a single plane that wasn't balsa and 8-foot wingspan. I was hardcore into it.
Yeah.
But you can't use this as a hobby that connects people when you have this hurdle. So we had to find something that was different. And for me, being frugal, it's like, man, well, there's this Dollar Tree foam board stuff. Let's go ahead and pick up a couple sheets and see what it's like. And I swear, I know it's meant for science fair projects. I think God made it for planes.
Mm-mm.
That's my
Right.
conviction there.
Boom.
But so what I did is I started designing out of foam board and trying to say what is something where they don't have to go to the hobby shop, but they can go simply to a dollar store or a craft store. So barbecue skewers, popsicle sticks, paint sticks, coffee stirrers, all that stuff had to be in the recipe. And then it was still too expensive. So how do we get to where people can say, do you have a price for a video game? And this is what I thought. Boy, I'm jumping around. The coffee's hitting me.
That's right.
You got a transmitter. the transmitter is like your game console. Okay, so you have a PlayStation, and this is actually the conversations I had with parents. Do you have a game station in your house? Oh yeah, of course. We have I forget, PS2, whatever the timing was. Well, cool. Okay, well that's like your transmitter in your expensive stuff. The airplane is like your video game. So if you have the price for one video game, you can fly. Well, that takes the transmitter and the motor out of the picture. Well, this knucklehead here had to provide those. Well, I can't just build and disassemble people's planes. So then the power pod came into effect. So, okay, let's change it like a gun. And we slide the cartridge out, slide a new cartridge in. And that way,
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
I never heard it said that way.
Yeah.
Like a.
So you've had gun and just that all
used
your
to-
blood.
You know, I used to trap shoot like crazy.
No.
Yeah.
John Overstreet was meant to come into play here because
Right.
these guns were just
I'm
circling.
2A all the way.
Yeah.
But that was like, okay, well, how in the world do we take all the most expensive goodies
Mhm.
and interchange them from one plane to another? And that's when the concept of the swappables was born. And right around that time, it was before flight test. We were basically experimenting. And by the way, my first foam board designs, terrible. I mean,
No.
oh yeah.
You talking about a 3-pack, or are you talking about before
No,
that time?
this is pre-flight test.
Bite your tongue. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with the three.
No,
well,
there's
the
nothing.
2/3 pack.
The 2/3 pack. You guys won't acknowledge that one. Oh,
No.
The dill.
but that's where the swappable came from. That's where Dollar Store came from. Because then I could walk to someone and say, if you have enough for a video game, I can get you flying. And then this guy to the left, is it to the left or the right of me?
Left.
Left of me, right
Yeah,
here.
right here.
This guy to the left of me. You came down and we were friends at that time and the mystery, and you're like, Bixler, I love you, but you're stupid.
I don't know if I said it like that.
Fine.
Maybe
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Bixler, I love you, but you're running your tail off and
Yeah.
you're not as effective as you want to be. And here's what you need to do. And that is the advice that kind of changed my life forever, because it wasn't about teaching the dad and teaching the kid and then, having them connect. It was impacting the dad to influence the kid and teach the kid and encourage the kid. And what I loved about it was you didn't just get dads and sons out there. You got the whole stinking family.
Oh man, there's a lot of moms.
And you would have the moms all lined up on the tailgates and kicking back, and they were watching their husbands and the kids, boys and girls, just go at it and crash these planes, and they were laughing their heads off.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's the eternal equation. If you get the dad to re-engage with the kids, mom falls for the dad, connects with the dad more. Is that a good way to say it?
Sexy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's love there.
Yeah,
There's
it
communication.
ignites the spark. So dad gets more kisses, and guess what happens?
More
The fam-
kids.
Which means
That's
more
it.
sales, which means we all win. Thanks for coming, and sayonara.
And this is where flight test went sideways. No. Dad reconnects with the kids. Mom reconnects with dad. Kisses happen. Families connected. You know what?
Yeah.
Dads need kisses.
That's
Oh, yeah.
right.
And you know
That's
what
right.
also?
We all do.
Kids need encouragement.
Our
from
wives
their
are
dads.
listening.
Yeah, and I know
Oh,
it sounds
yeah.
sexist because I'm talking about dads, but man, you got to reconnect the family.
Mhm.
And every plane to this day that I design,
Mhm.
I don't think about, well, what is this going to symbolize or mean for flight tests or mean for me? Forget all that. I'm going to say it. Screw all that.
Mhm.
What I think is what's the experience and the memory the person's going to be walking away with.
Absolutely.
And we want to design on that. So that is the
So that's the story.
that's the story. Did
I
make-
love that
Was
story.
that a clear enough story?
No,
Does
that
make
was
sense?
very clear, and I love
Yeah.
it. It'll actually transition into this question in which dude has here. I don't know if he's
Thanks,
Excalibur
Excalibur
dad.
dad. I like
yeah, Excalibur dad one. So he's the dad, obviously.
Yeah.
And it looks like he wants to get into the hobby. He's asking for advice on an all-around controller or transmitter that he can get his hands on.
I
and
love
everything.
that. I love that. Excalibur Dad, comment back to whether you're a dad that likes to use internet videos and tinker with programming, because I am falling in love with the Radio Master.
Yeah, and
Talk about bang for the buck.
Radio Master. The what do we have? The TX16S.
TX16S.
Yeah, but that Zorro, I haven't got
Yeah,
to
that's
fly with the Zorro, but I love the way the Zorro feels in your hand.
Yeah.
It's like a video game controller.
So think of it this way. Spectrum is kind of like the iPhone. It does everything. It's really good user interface.
Mhm.
You're going to pay a pretty penny for it. And I would say that the Radio Master is like a really well decked out Android.
Yep.
Just will work with everything, adaptable, open source, it'll grow with you. And
Yep.
ever since picking up the Radio Master, I haven't touched, unless it's something that's already bound, the Spectrum. So
That's
that says,
awesome.
that says a lot. And yes, do I still have questions and get frustrated? Yeah. And God didn't make phone board, Adam did. All right, Pastor. Is that true?
That's I don't know. That's marketing. That's a shout out to
Hey,
Adam's.
can you screen cap that for me? I need to send that to Carla. Truly, can you please?
Oh
I
my
need that in my
gosh.
life.
Oh
That
yeah,
is fantastic.
I think I can.
Adam's
You
really
have to.
bored.
Got
to
it.
do that.
Oh, that is great. By the
Chris
way,
Crawford. That's a very intuitive comment there.
Yes.
well, just so you know, by the way, it's not Adam is actually the last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it's still to this day family run.
Nice.
Carl Adams
Yeah.
is the current president, and
Yeah,
so pretty special
Yeah.
special
Adams
thing that they got
Plastics
going.
and
Hey, it was a joke there, Bixler.
Sorry,
No,
I'm
it's
just
true,
ruined it.
though.
You
Yeah.
just ruined it.
I just wanted to give historical accuracy of the
historical
company.
accuracy, please. Come on.
Give it to
Yeah,
us.
so okay. Wait, no, he had a question. Okay, so build area.
Yes.
You
Build area and
yeah,
controller.
you're going to need Radio Master. Check out the Radio Master. Look at some reviews. If you have the patience to watch some videos, once you learn it, the theme and the way it works just carries through the whole entire transmitter.
Golden.
So I would strongly suggest look at the Zorro coming out. Look at the TX16S,
Mhm.
which is crazy good bang for the buck.
Mhm.
And if you like it, pull the trigger on that. Because then you'll be able to fly anything. You'll be able to fly DSMP, which is basically like the Spectrum protocol. You'll be able to fly Futaba. You can even fly our toy freighter and airliner off of that protocol.
That is what I heard,
Oh, yeah.
which is
Yeah.
awesome.
I
Love
forget
that.
which the protocol is, but yeah,
Is it Beiyang?
Beiyang or
I
something.
think it's
yeah.
Beiyang.
Payang.
Yeah. So there that would be what I'd recommend. As far as glue guns go, check out the
Crafty kit.
Check out the Crafty Kit V2. It's going to give you a 300 watt glue gun that's adjustable temp.
Ooh,
So
those are still good.
you can glue things with low enough temperature like the CPS foam all the way up to wood. And you can
What?
make the stuff boil, which is awesome for gluing wood together with a good bond. So, because if you don't get it hot enough, it won't go into the fibers of the wood, won't adhere well. So that's what I'd recommend for that. As far as space goes, this table's a mere. This is our build table. So
This
what
is
is
probably
this?
what
5 feet,
4.5,
by
5 feet
yeah.
by 2.5 feet.
yeah, about 30 inches.
Yeah.
So
That's about right.
that's all you need, man. I love the fact you're doing it in the center room because going in your basement, being alone building is not nearly as much fun. And if you have a patient family, but they don't mind the chaos, building around family is fun. Half the time I don't even go down my basement. I use my wife's kitchen counter top and I build there because I don't like being alone.
Don't like being alone.
Excalibur dad said now he's got a ton of. He moved out to the country. He's got a ton of space now. So
That's awesome.
that's why he's
Oh,
looking at
so
all this
that's
stuff.
what he's. How's the range on it?
Oh, really good. Really good.
One of the best, actually,
Yeah.
from what I understand, based on certain
Yeah.
testings that they've done.
And I don't know all of that technical stuff and whatever, but I know that Wes mounted his long range module
Yeah,
on it.
TBS module.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Crossfire.
it's right on the. It mounts right on the back of it. Real.
It's like kilometers and kilometers and
I
kilometers.
know.
Yeah,
It's
it's
out
it's a
there.
long ways, more than you probably need, sir, and probably more than you actually are allowed, because there's certain
Mhm.
line of sight.
There's limits that they
technicalities,
want you
yes,
to follow.
correct.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So good question.
Oh
Indeed.
yeah, it's a very
Well
good
done, sir.
question, and I really enjoyed the hearing that story.
Yes, Sam.
Of phone board and
Well,
everything.
Do you guys ever like sit back and say, "Oh my gosh, we've known each other for a long time,
Mhm.
both of us"?
That's a.
It depends on what kind of mood you're in.
You ever sit back and think,
Yeah.
I really
Oh
enjoy this guy?
my
Yeah, some days,
goodness.
and then some days I'm like, why do I know this guy?
Yeah.
Well, and to this
Not
day,
true.
it's like, and I'm grateful. God's timing with the right people at the right time for the right reasons
Mhm.
is the common thread I see through flight test. I think 20 years from now, we better be writing a book because you see God's hand in it. And I'm not going to apologize about saying it that way. The crazy things that have happened from starting in a single car garage
Mm.
to where we are with HQ and the amazing support from the community, but also the way this community gravitates to not just the toy planes, but to how to use them to impact people.
Dude, if the Duck Dynasty people want another show,
It'd be real reality.
it would be real. It would be real up in here. I mean, they would get their money's worth there.
And, it's funny because you mentioned Duck Dynasty. What I loved about Duck Dynasty was the drama was in what they were doing, not within the relationships.
Right.
And I think that's a really good picture of what we have here is we do a lot of sketchy things. We break a lot of things. We have a lot of failures, a lot of successes, a lot of problems. At the end of the day, we love each other.
Mhm.
And I think that needs to be showcased more. And hats off to you guys again. What I saw on last Friday was exactly that.
Oh, yeah, for
just
sure.
People helping each other. What I see at Flight Fest is that. And it's powerful. It
Yep.
changes lives. So
And I have to agree that we've known each other for a long time. I think we're going on. I'm personally going on 7 years here in April. And I did miss the couple early years with the garage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I came in the end of early 15, I think.
You came in when Brother Need to Breathe song Brother was coming out.
right.
Because I remember you singing it at the Lasers.
he has a great voice. by the
Oh
way.
my
It's funny.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
He and I always referred to him like the crazy soccer guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got an awesome voice. He's kind of weird though.
Here's the funniest thing is when I first met you, Stefan, I was like in the zone with work and frankly kind of cranky, and you were really quiet.
Yeah, it was like it was like a whirlwind of things that don't exist anymore.
Like, neither one of us are like that. Well, I am cranky, but he is not quiet.
You said it. You
No,
said it. We didn't.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not quite at all. Yeah,
No.
I walked into the office with Austin, and it was like the first time I was going to meet Josh Bixler and talk about flight test and see what the opportunities were.
Did you
And,
know? Did you know what flight test was? Like,
Only by the talkings, like 3 or 4 talkings that I had with Austin.
okay, so you weren't like, oh my goodness,
No.
I get it.
I didn't even know RC planes were even like a thing until like 2014. Like that's how new to the scenario is.
Okay.
So I walk into the shop, the old shop, which is crazy to begin with. You got things hanging from the ceiling. You got people on the ground doing this, that, or the other. You got Josh was actually, when I first met him, I would come around the corner of that half wall where the studio was, where the pad house used to be. And I come around the corner and you're stooped down on your knee, looking underneath a shelf. and Austin's like, hey, Josh, this is Stefan. This is my brother-in-law, blah, 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 blah. And you look up and you're like, hey, how's it going? And he looks back down. He just goes back to doing what he was doing. But he's on the ground. He's looking under something.
There was a screw under there. I guarantee that. I don't even remember what it was, but I guarantee I was looking for like a linkage stopper or a screw.
Well, I'm sure linkage stopper probably. You're right. You're probably right. So that was the first interaction I had with Josh. And honestly, I don't even remember the second one.
No,
it was probably when I got hired.
I think you just started putting to work. By the way, I was terrible in the early days because we'd be like, yeah, we need an extra person. Let's hire somebody. And then I would tell HR that we hired somebody.
You just start working, which I feel like that was kind of the case.
I don't do that anymore.
No, that's a good idea. Scott wouldn't allow you.
No.
So that's how I met Josh Bixler, and how I kind of came into the picture. And it was right about high time of Flight Fest preparation. So like I got in, started doing like we talked about this last time, where you put the thing in the bag and you scoop it out and all the air
The
comes
vacuum.
out. That's what I started.
Everybody starts there with the
Yeah,
small
exactly.
packs.
You know, if we can find that thing, we're gonna put it in the shadow box.
Yes, 100%. And so I get
We can
there,
do it.
and then like about 3 weeks after I get hired, just Flight Fest airplane craziness happens, and so I'm getting used to these things, and I think, boom, we have to make 5 million airplanes now, tomorrow. It was crazy.
You're not sleeping.
Just jump into it, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Oh my gosh. You know, during that time too, there was a period because our kids were homeschooled. We homeschooled our kids for I think a year. But it was during that time my office wasn't my office. It was the kids' classroom.
Yeah.
But I remember from that time with you working, I think you even did a ton of overtime, but we were cranking them out until almost 10 o'clock at night.
Yes.
And the kids would sleep, and then we'd just throw them in the car. We'd drive home, and we'd start the next morning.
Yes.
But Jen, did she ever tell you what she would do?
No,
With
not
the
that I'm
operatic.
aware of.
So we were filling orders at the time, but she would go in, and after you guys made planes, she would clear out the shelves strategically. So it didn't look like they're empty, but she would shave off like half the volume of everything, and she'd put it in boxes, and then she'd hide it on the upper mezzanine above the garage where no one would ever go. And that was how, along with the crazy overtime that you guys had to do, but that was how she just siphoned a little bit off the top, a little bit off the top.
Oh my
And to this
goodness.
day, she still has that wily wit about her.
Oh,
She
man.
crushes it, man. She's killing
that's
it.
awesome.
That's where we're at. And then
Yeah.
now you fast forward to now, 7 years ish later, we're still crushing it, having fun, doing some crazy stuff, and still actually making planes.
Well,
Crazy.
That is crazy.
One of my favorite memories was, I think it was, easily within the first couple of days of you coming on board, hearing just amazing voice in the back laser room, I guess you could say, belting over the loud exhaust and everything.
Oh yeah.
Just singing your heart out. And I was like, this guy and I are going to be good friends.
Yeah. it's kind of ridiculous. I definitely was enjoying what I was doing at the time, and I was also singing really loudly. Alex has a story to this day that he almost punched me in the face or something like that because the first day he was like, "This guy's so annoying," because I was singing Lion King at the top of my lungs or something like that. Whatever it was, right?
In the jungle.
Hakuna Matata, whatever. Yeah, whatever it might have been.
Oh,
I can't
man.
remember what it was,
I
but
love it.
but yeah, we ended up becoming really good friends as well, so that's good
He
too.
didn't punch you in the face.
No, he didn't punch me in the face. Well, he might have. I don't remember. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
But we're good. So yeah, now we have everything that we have here now, and we've got this great community. We've got this amazing place to call home,
Yeah.
and we have people come out here all the time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's awesome,
Yeah, I'm missing it.
right?
I cannot wait for spring.
Spring's
'cause
gonna be
Well,
nice.
A minute ago, Steve Sizemore, he made a
Hey, Steve.
comment that he loves seeing people's faces when they come to Edgewater for the first time,
Mm.
and they're just their reactions.
it's awesome.
It is. I mean, especially if you are into the hobby and you see everything that's going on. And then we've had it multiple people tell us that it's almost as if there is a peace
Mhm.
about this place. And I mean, and that's what we want.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's-
everything we want.
Right.
Yes, the flying is great, but we want people to have a area to connect.
Absolutely.
And, we did it on a silly runway with a really gross hangar behind us. Remember that hangar?
Yes.
Um,
Putting holes in the hanger with the
putting holes in-
Versa.
blowing holes through the hangar with the
Mhm.
Versa wing. And you guys have blessed us with this territory where we can really reach into people's hearts. And I love that fire pit. I don't know. We put a lot of heart in the fire pit, and
Oh,
hats
man.
off to Josh. Oh, I'm sorry, not Josh. I bet this. I'm like, what's his name?
For what? The one out here?
They built the fire pit. His
thought
last name
it-
is
Cody.
Cody
Cody
Bixler. Yeah.
Oh, hey, I need to get Cody's number because I
Yeah.
guess his brother does some kind of food truck or something.
Yeah. He has like this crazy cool taco truck.
Okay, we need to get
Ooh,
that
yeah.
at Flight Fest.
Okay.
Can we get
Yeah.
that now? Like, is he delivering?
Yeah, because restaurants
Yeah.
closed. I need some tacos. in my
I'm
belly.
looking out the
Um,
window. There's an awful lot of
yeah,
ice. I don't know if he can
but-
make it up the hill.
Long story short, the fire pit.
Yes.
We'll be sitting in a lobby either after an event or Friday night, and just people be hanging out. But you could just see everybody. The shoulders are down. They're relaxing. The kids are having fun, and it's not just the dads and the kids. It's the whole family again. And that's been our prayer from the beginning: is to see the whole family have a place to come out and to just get some rest and get some
Yes.
connection time.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's bomb.
now that it's winter and snowy and icy, you just don't realize how much you miss it until you don't have
So
it.
you don't have, yeah. That's like a slogan of some kind, right? You don't know what you got until it's gone.
Yeah.
That's a
What you
thing.
got? What you got? Let's go.
I was thinking you
Great
can't
song.
always get what you want. I was thinking the
Oh,
wrong
my
end.
God.
Hey, look here what Pappy says.
What's up, Pepe Wesley?
Hey!
Yeah.
Greatest
I love you,
thing
brother.
that's ever happened in this hobby.
Oh,
Wow.
that-
That's a bold
Well,
statement.
and Pappy's been around. I mean, no
Yeah.
disrespect, but I mean Pappy's a little older and he's been around the hobby a long time. For him
Yeah.
to say that
love,
is
love Pappy. Yeah.
huge.
So yeah, and this is kind of I think what we want to see in the structure of the FTCA is we have a location where people fly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a club. Within that location, you have volunteers that
Oh,
do
yeah.
more serving than they do flying and
Mhm.
more helping. That is the flight crew. Flight Fest has the Flight Fest flight crew. That's the people that wake up and put on the red shirts and the orange shirts, and they go out and they serve other people.
Mm-hmm.
We have our version of that at our location, and that's the Edgewater flight crew.
Yeah.
And our goal as people get more and more, flying areas and flying groups, is that you'll have a group of people that serve and volunteer that are always, making that environment welcoming. That, in my opinion, is going to be what is going to be far more impactful than clubs. And clubs are good for competitions. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Again, not throwing things, but I think what will happen is you're going to have a much easier way of getting young children, educational stuff, training into an environment like that.
Right.
And we can take somebody on a Thursday night and have them flying by Friday. It's just
Well,
incredible.
yeah, and I think the key to that is we engage them not on the I don't even know how to say this correctly, but we engage them not on the model aircraft level. We engage them on the personal level.
Relational
Mhm.
level.
Yeah, so they have that they have that ease when they're going into being able to fly, and they're not all nervous and everything.
Well, and here's what's so cool about the hobby is if I went up to, and I've said this a lot of times, if I went up to Stefan and him and I are total strangers and they're like, hey, Stefan, I want to be your best friend and build a real relationship with you, I would freak out. That would be weird.
Funny-
I want to be
hyper.
your friend.
This is funny you say that. I had the exact same conversation with a guy at Dick's Sporting Goods the other day.
You better not tell about it. Oh,
No
I thought you were
joke.
talking about me.
No. That's been long gone. No, I had the exact same scenario happen essentially at Dick's Sporting Goods, and it was fine, right? But it was a little awkward.
You went up to some guy and told him you wanted
No,
to be
the
his
other,
best
the,
friend.
the other way around.
the
Oh,
way around.
Not to say best friend, but like we
and-
had a conversation.
And
Like
maybe boldness like
my
that
base
works in
mall.
some aspects, but
that. So.
there's this thing that we affectionately call shoulder time,
shoulder time it is.
and it works for parents, it works for friends. But if you really want to influence someone in life, you got to have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And this hobby is so amazing to build relationships with people, whether
It is.
it's on a parenting level, a
Mhm.
mentorship level, an educational level, or just on a relational level to just make friends. And what is so cool about Edgewater is you have the most diverse people across the board.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
And it doesn't matter if they pull in, they could even have a Biden sticker on, and you could have another guy with a 2A sticker on his car. And guess what? They'll be flying together. They'll be getting along because they're not.
It'll be the
connected.
most awkward thing, but they will be.
No, and I've seen it, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I could name names.
I know.
Yeah, right.
I know.
But here's the cool thing: is you
That's
cannot
awesome.
connect unless you have something to connect through,
Mhm.
and we call it the bridge of trust that can bear the weight of truth.
hmm
And the hobby serves as that. And I think in this world, in this time right now, where people, I mean, it's do you have a mask? Do you not have a mask? Is it vaccine? No vaccine? Is it the FAA regulations, or are you going to buck the system? People put so many boundaries up. It's just
Mhm.
like back when we want to get people in the hobby, it's like it's too expensive, it takes too long.
Right.
There's relational boundaries,
Mhm.
and you can use these things as tools to overcome those relational boundaries.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what I want at the end of the day.
Yeah. No,
I
absolutely.
want to see that, and I love that. And I think the more we make it about that, the better life will be.
Yeah. Oh,
Agreed.
No doubt. And one thing to talk about or to mention when you're dealing with people and when you're dealing with relationships, no one should ever think that it's going to be easy.
No.
And it's not going to be messy because it will be. I mean,
Yes.
the closer you get to someone, and that's one thing I've had a conversation with some people that are close to us now that were fans, you know, of the Bixlerites and everything. I don't know if that's the correct term, Bixlerite.
I never heard of that before.
I've never heard that in my entire career here.
I'm in, dude. I'm in the book of Numbers in
Coming
my,
out.
my Bible reading plan.
They
and
better-
The
okay,
Israelites,
I'm gonna get
yeah.
struck by lightning
There's
really
a
quick.
lot
if
of
you're not
ites
careful.
there.
Yeah.
But anyways, where they start out as fans and they get close and they become friends, and they realize that transition from fan to friend, and you get closer. There's a lot of Bixler that's ugly or
Yeah, I got a lot of
Stefan.
pimples on me.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
Emotional,
okay.
yeah.
And-
Fans to friends. Do you know what's in between the F and the S? Wrens, but it kind of looks like rinds. You know what I'm saying? So like you
Where
know
are
how
you
like
going?
listen, you know how like the rind of like an orange or whatever is like real nasty and like you don't want to eat it. That's essentially what you're seeing. It came into my head. I had to say it. Okay, listen, it's truth. The bridge of truth.
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know. I
come
don't know
on.
what to do. Come
Forget
on.
it.
Now.
All right.
Come on.
I was
Moving
thinking,
on.
I was thinking pork rinds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, what a pig. I don't
Listen,
know.
You know what? Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, put it on t-shirt.
Coming or not.
No, but it goes fans to friends to family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you definitely start learning about people and who they really are.
Oh yeah.
And then you get to love them through that too. These friends to my left and right here, they know everything ugly about me because guess what? 30 minutes ago, I was showing them everything ugly about me. And after we get on this podcast and done with it, they'll probably see a little bit more ugly Bixler. So
Boom.
No, because I'm gonna run.
you gonna run? Oh, we're gonna all go home.
Running away.
I'm gone.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
And then you got people like Steven Can't Be Wrong over here.
Holy
crushing
cow,
it.
Steven,
thank you
thank
so
you,
much,
man.
sir. And also, thanks so much for the support on the store as well.
awesome.
Order 2 Master Series A10s.
Sweet, they're back. We got some. in.
Yeah.
I got an A10 sweatshirt on.
Hey, quit rubbing it in.
We're twinning, Steven.
First of all, thank you, and you are gonna love the Master Series A10s. They look
Oh, man.
ridiculous. They fly even more ridiculous.
That's
So-
awesome.
And you can take them off without wheels, which is cool.
That's
Ooh,
awesome.
yeah,
That's real
Yeah,
nice.
put some tape on the bottom of those nacelles. So
They're
great skid plates.
I gotta be honest with you. The A10 in general is just one of our
It's just
our favorite
awesome.
designs that we have. Both the simple one and the Master Series.
So after the 20-foot B17, does that mean
30-foot A10. Yeah,
oh,
I guess it.
dude. Oh,
All right.
goodness.
We'd actually have to make a new HQ for that to be able to fit in here to build it in here.
we hit three. If we hit 3 million, then I'll concede.
Okay.
You know what? He doesn't know this, but I've been learning VR CAD. design.
Okay. Oh,
And
Oh,
it's cool. I
no.
look like I'm directing like an orchestra.
are you
I'm like-
crushing
I'm
it
like,
right now? That's sick.
You know,
I-
it's terrible.
Can you take a video? Of that
Yes, I
later?
want a
didn't
video
see
of
Well,
that.
you know what? You know what my first project is?
What?
Is an ultralight.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my goodness
So
gracious.
here's what's in my head. Here's what's in my head.
Okay.
Can you give me some music?
So what kind of music?
I don't know.
That's all I got. Sorry.
So okay, I am crazy. We have a 700-foot landing strip. I can get the Airlight 103 out of there, but I'm thinking, you know what? The sports would be good, but we need something more approachable and simple. And I've been loving this hot wire. By the way, the B-17 wings are cut.
Sick.
Nice.
But I'm sitting here. I'm like, I could just be cutting out an ultralight wing right now. I don't know what I'm doing. Peter did a killer job. He has his ultralight wing, and it's just wrapped in vinyl,
Right.
and it's all foam, and it's amazing. Back to the thing. Started designing. I thought, how cool would it be to make an incredible performing 103, which is ultralight, stall aircraft that is just straight up legit, but also stupid cheap to build.
Mm.
But
I
you don't
like-
have to have a pilot's license?
Yeah, you wanted to.
It's all experimental, bro.
Kind of like, just imagine like
I'll be in on that as long as I get to fly it.
So there's a plane. Yes,
Yes.
and it
You'll
has to
fly
fit- it
that,
has
but you
to fit
won't
us
fly
big
an
boys,
RC
too.
airplane.
Yeah.
So-
What's going on?
But just imagine, and there's some really amazing designs. Like I like the Legal Eagle, the air bike and stuff like that. But I like having my legs inside the airplane,
Mhm.
and I love triangles too.
I would
so-
I would agree with you
Yeah.
on that one.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them you like straddle, and it's like in the middle, and then a
Right.
little pod, and it's just a little drafty. But
Where did you go?
I think,
You know that.
Okay.
So
It's
long
drafty.
story short, I started designing off of this. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something I'm passionate about, so I can keep going back to it and get a reward.
Mhm.
This thing came together so quickly,
Really?
and now it's like, man, I kind of want to build that like in quarter scale, see how it flies. But I'm
Did
almost
you do that already?
No, not
Okay,
yet.
'cause I
but I
almost
could,
thought
but
that.
I could. But I am loving. It's called Gravity Sketch. I'm loving VR CAD design. I have a hard time with Fusion 360. Dave, thank God, is a rock star with it. But this VR CAD thing is pretty
Straight
darn cool.
crushing, huh?
So
Man,
Yeah.
what's it called again?
it's called Gravity Sketch.
Gravity Sketch. I'm gonna have to reach out
It's
to
like
them
the
and see
best
what
20
they have
bucks
to-
you can spend, but it's not yet a like take it over to the blueprints.
Mhm.
You can then pull that into something like Fusion, and then you can turn it into a structural.
Okay.
But it gets you the ability to go freehand to structured so quickly. And my mind just can wrap around a lot quicker. So I'm really excited about this new
That's
chapter. But
sweet.
also with the hot wire stuff, like
Yeah.
if I knew what I knew now, these pod racers would have been designed in a quarter of the time, and I would have had artistic renderings, to show
These
you guys.
pod racers that are taking up the whole studio
That's-
were
You can't- you
crammed
can't
in a
see-
corner.
Yeah,
It looks
you
like
can't
we have
see
this big old space here, but like everything is like right here in front of us.
Yeah. Aaron
No.
asked a great question. You popped that up for me. Thank
I
you.
did.
I don't know the answer yet, but I'll find out. Okay. I would love to see if we could build an ultralight for like $3,000 or less. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd be really
Oh.
cool.
And then just add motor, which let's say ultralight all up 7,000.
Dang, that's
Wouldn't that be
like
cool?
Yeah, that's like cheaper than a paramotor,
Yeah,
setup.
Yeah, it is.
Dang.
You got
that'd be pretty
to
cool.
So, and also I want to do folding wings.
Ooh.
So you can just Pilot Institute hangar.
Yeah. You just flip and flop it in there, dude. That's
Anyway,
cool.
I look for it. Next week I'm going to show you it. But I've been having fun, and you can open up and you can literally take the plane and you can sit in the seat itself and get the perspective. Like I had the stretch placements up farther forward, and I'm looking. I was like, I don't want to look at the stretch when I look down. I want to like look down.
Yeah. Right.
And so I moved them back. I'm like, oh shoot, that geometry won't work for moving the wings and folding them back. So I'm like, boop, and it was fun. And then I like climbed in, and I'm like, my wife must have been thinking I was such a weirdo.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, she thought that 20 years ago. Come on, what are you
Still said I
talking
do.
about?
There's a guy that's Chet, I think he said gravity paint is cray.
Gravity paint.
I wonder if it's from the same company and they have a paint version or
Either,
something.
either that or Gravity Sketch is pretty much like paint. I mean,
Okay.
it's all artistic.
Oh, that's
you
sweet.
can pull measurements off of it, but
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty darn.
Well, I'm
cool.
glad you're having fun with that.
I am. It's-
Because I
it's-
know that's if you've experienced Josh Bixler designing airplanes, you know that there's only a certain amount of space inside your head and your capacity to be able to design, and just continue to design and think up new things to do. So it's great that you have this outlet to be able to start designing in multiple spaces, because you can only go so far with one area, right?
Could you imagine this popped in my head here. Could you imagine if Josh couldn't design airplanes, how crazy Jen would be?
That's a fair point.
It'd be like this.
Oh man.
She'd be in the.
Superstar. I feel bad for anyone who's listening on the audio. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, that's
Welcome,
all right.
friends.
Welcome,
Yeah, no,
welcome.
I have a
welcome.
hard time putting my brain off now, and that's the hard thing is because I have things in my head I can't get out.
Mhm.
And God bless Dave being in my life because I can describe it to him, and then he draws it in 3D, and then makes it even cooler.
Yeah, he's
But
a man.
I don't have a gift for 3D CAD. I am having such a hard time. I can do everything in 2D, and I can picture it flat, but I can't draw it
Mhm.
and then unfold it,
Right.
for lack of better words, and that's
Fair.
driving me nuts.
Well, and some people's brains are just built differently, you know what I mean, with like different
Yeah.
pathways and that kind of stuff. I mean, very,
True.
very. I could never do what you do,
I
and
guarantee I can do what you do.
and at the end of the day, Dave has an unbelievable
Yeah.
brain about the
Well,
3D side of things too. So.
And that is the
Yeah.
cool thing because it also reinforces the relationship. It gives you those things to connect over, and then the final product is even more special.
Yeah.
Someone asked earlier about, are we doing what's our next big plane or what are we working on?
Mhm.
I mentioned earlier, I just finished cutting out all the wings for the Monster B-17.
Yes.
Holy cow. I looked at the fuselage and it's kind of, because it's a tube, it's like, oh, it's not that big. When you cut the wings out, it gets real.
So what's the width of the
43-inch wing cord. So just the cord itself is 43 inches.
Wow.
So
So
yeah, it's like from the ground to like here. Okay, that's the wing cord, and then by the time you get to the tip, it's not like this. It's still like ridiculously
good
wide.
size.
Dang.
I couldn't stack all the sections for one half of the wing upstairs in the mezzanine. I can only put 3 of the 4 sections in it. And so if you guys haven't, let's see, this Friday's episode is all around 3D printing, the Eclipse and Model S.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the turrets. If you guys want to see what
Yeah.
Dave has done with these RC turrets that will hold the laser tag, holy cow, are they amazing?
They are sick.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
Look like something straight out of Star Wars.
yeah,
Or Star Trek.
All the stars.
no Star Wars,
Oh, okay.
but they're just absolutely incredible the way they work, and the experienced people, the perspective they get, and along with controlling it, I think people won't want to fly the B-17. They're going to want to shoot
Yeah, they're
things.
just gonna shoot things, which is
But,
this is fair. It's me like a video game.
He even made it where he's going to make this locking plate where you push it up in the fuselage, turn it, and it locks in. So
That's
It's
sick.
sick.
It's just
That's
ridiculous.
sick.
So the things you
Dave's
can
the man.
things you can do with combining like Dollar Tree foam board, hot wire foam cutting, and then 3D printing, sky's the limit.
It's like
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the things come together.
Yeah,
And
in a
that's
really
nice
cool
and
way.
good.
So
Yes.
that's this Friday, and then the following Friday, these pods are getting. You guys can get to see them all painted and looking awesome, and then
You keep pointing and saying these pods as if they can see them.
I know let's torture them.
I know,
I'm doing it on
right?
purpose. So,
I don't know about. I still don't understand what they're all about. But
Star Wars.
I know. But
Do, 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 do.
you know what's even crazier? So you keep
Can you guys see that?
There it goes. There's a
There you
pod.
go. That's what we're looking at.
That's
right
even
now.
more mean.
everybody
Right.
keeps seeing all of these pieces that are laying around and probably thinking like, what in the world is all this? If you come into the shop, so this is
We like
part-
puzzles, is what.
Yeah, Josh is into puzzles now. So this is the part of the new tutor, or I'm sorry, the Tenet,
Tenet.
not the tutor. I love the tutor though.
Easy.
Yeah, come on now. The Tenet that came out yesterday, and there are pieces all over the place.
And it's funny because when we're doing the build video, all you hear is
oh my,
ASMR
not a good kind.
and or nails on chalkboard.
oh man,
I'm loving it.
yeah.
Got the first 2 batches of them cut. We got 100+ kits ready to go, and these things fly good.
They fly
Oh,
great.
man. The
Yeah.
Tenet is so, and we've said this multiple times, but the Tenet, we can prop this thing up. We can show. I mean, the picture. There's one in the back right over
Yep.
there, and we've shown you other pictures and everything.
Yeah.
But it show them how cool it is. Show them the different configurations, which is all good.
Mhm.
But until you fly one or see
Yeah.
one fly,
Yeah.
and what it can handle and the performance in which it has, you're thinking like, holy crap, like I don't need
Yeah,
any more
they're-
planes. This is awesome.
They're not much to look at. I mean,
No.
it's not. It's definitely function over form.
Right.
And let's be honest, we didn't want to just reinvent the wheel. We wanted someone to have an Explorer. We wanted someone to have a tiny trainer.
Mhm.
So we took all the key moments and the functionality and stuff, and we just made it so one kit could be any of those things.
Right. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
essentially the swappable power pod, but in plain
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
You want
Yeah.
a mini Explorer? Guess what? You got it. You want a tiny trainer? That's actually bigger than tiny trainer?
Yeah.
You got it. And then
Even other little designs that we've kind of messed around with.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple different ones, Canard and all that
Yeah,
other
the
stuff.
Canard. And that was the end goal. This thing here, this little plug on the back end, the whole purpose of that was to make it so people would want to make the plane fly as a Canard.
Mhm.
But if the plane looked like a plane from the back end, it's like, oh, why are they making the plane flying backwards?
Yeah, I see that.
We had to kill that look.
It's right over. It's right over there. You can't see it, but it's right over there,
Yeah.
and you can see the plug on the back.
We-
It looks cool.
Let's be honest. Like, I didn't even know if it was going to work.
Yeah.
And we had to make it happen. It's like, well, better see if this works. We had the best time checking. the
Oh
thing.
man, it was awesome. It's going to be in an episode here in the near future.
Well-
I don't know which episode it's going to be in, but
I think it's coming up. But if you go to the store, and this
Mhm.
isn't a plug, but if you go to the store and go to there's 3 Tenet pages,
Mhm.
Yep.
the flight, the light, and the powered flight. There's the vision video.
The vision video, yeah.
The vision video for the Tenet is there,
Yes.
and you can. I mean, Josh explains it all, and it has footage of flying. I mean, up at Kent
Indoor,
State
yeah.
when we were there, and it's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely
you'll
getting to
enjoy
change again.
the content there
Oh,
for sure.
yeah.
You know what's hard about that is how much we put a lot of heart into this thing.
When you say we,
We
you got a mouse in your
put me
pocket.
put me in a vacuum, man, and I will not get anything done.
Ah,
It's
Yeah.
definitely we. When we came up with this thing, we put a lot of heart into it.
Yes.
And trying to do that in the vision video, poor Noah, because I had so much stuff running through my head. And I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't like it.
Mm.
It was just like overload.
Right,
And
right.
I'm so proud of him because poor kid had to take all my crazy words and make it make sense. And
mhm.
it worked out
You did
good.
great.
So
You did a great job.
you know what, Lee?
Yeah.
I'm thinking off the top of my head, this would be a
Oh.
fantastic live build.
Yes.
Because I mean, think how quick we would actually have a live build that would be under 2 hours.
Well, plus you can do multiple configurations.
And you
Definitely.
could fly them.
Give me some. Don't leave me hanging.
Because
Hey.
you could build and fly and build and fly.
Yeah, we have to do it in time. But so,
Yeah, hey,
Radio
Radio.
RC says, will you guys be releasing any more FT Easy
Oh,
ready to fly?
The easy flirting's happening.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The easy flirt.
You heard it here
but
first.
even this, we were thinking today. We were talking about how the stem line has the easy planes and everything. This is kind of in that same, or it is for stem, but
Mhm.
it's right there. It's easy to build and
Yeah.
it's nice to fly. And
So where the easy line gives you, give throttle, you go up and stuff, and it's incredibly simple. This is really can be your first experience.
Yeah.
Do me a favor though, when you get this kit, if you get this kit, do not fly it without taping it, even if it's just 2-inch packing tape.
oh yeah,
This is EPS. This is not EPP. I
Right.
mean, watch. It'll crack.
what did you do?
I gotta give people the real thing.
Richard.
I hope you can
Now-
fix that.
Now, when you tape it, I could
Somebody
beat
just cried.
both these guys over the head with it, and it would not break.
I think we actually did that.
We did. We did.
I
We
was-
did something.
I was throwing it at your window.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
chucked out my window.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
my biggest fear through all this, I'm doing the build video. I'm thinking people think, oh, I don't want to tape it. It's not going to need tape. Tape
Definitely
it, please.
tape
I
it.
mean,
And it looks good.
you can glue it back together. But use low temp or dial the temperature down. You can glue it back together, but you're just going to keep gluing it back together.
Right.
Use the 2-inch packing tape or the colored packing tape that not only looks cool,
Mhm.
but it then becomes like a wiffle ball bat.
Yes, that's
It's just
exactly what it is.
ridiculous.
That's exactly what it is.
It's
So
like-
if you don't want to fly, you just take the fuselage and use it as a bat.
Yeah, exactly.
You go play with ball,
So-
whatever.
Yeah.
And This,
Okay.
this is kind of grassroots, but this is the easy line, and this is really, I think, and then combined with the whoops that we're coming out with.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
This is going to be our movement going into STEM.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what
this
we
is
say.
going to be a big STEM year
Yeah.
with these three products alone.
Yeah.
Not including everything else that we
Yeah.
can put into STEM, but these are game changer,
Yeah.
no doubt.
If you're a teacher, or it's like, man, how do we bring flight into schools without it being intimidating or
Mhm.
complicated or expensive? These are the solutions.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, the neat thing about this is you slide out that center pod, you can even pop out the 2 servos. That can go home, and all the expensive stuff, just like what we talked about with the power pod,
Mhm.
goes right on the shelf, and it takes
Right.
up just a handful of room. And
Yeah.
then the kids can go home. They can say, "Hey, mom, dad, I want to continue flying." They can then fly together, have fun together, and then the ultimate mission's been fulfilled.
Oh
We're
yeah.
getting them into
Boom.
education. We're getting them in the relation.
Yeah.
And flight is being celebrated.
And also future proofing innovation, because
Yeah.
you're getting these kids that will eventually they'll start with this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But they turn into the Andrews Lews of the world,
Oh, geez.
which are
By the way, happy
innovating.
birthday, Andrews. Today
Happy
is
birthday,
Andrews' birthday.
buddy.
Everyone wish Andrews a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And they're turning into Andrews of the world that are now, making and working on real airplanes and pushing the not only hobby but also general aviation forward and flying cars and whatever. I mean, all these different things that we're
Yeah.
going to be seeing in the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
That they started here, right? Or
Right.
in some way, shape, or form in that area. So
100%.
you're working on not only inspiring people to do stuff now, but you're working towards the future as well. So
100%.
it's pretty freaking
Dude,
awesome.
I'm gonna shout out for Ben Harbor, the guy that you guys pick on
up,
ruthlessly
Benny?
every time.
What's up,
Brother-
Benny Harbor?
we should call him Brother Ben.
Brother Ben.
Dude, that is absolutely yes, 1,000 times yes.
What?
3M Super 77. You do a light mist coating down. Can you highlight that for
Yep.
everybody?
Yep. Right here it
Everyone?
is.
Yeah. Before putting the tape on, it makes it stick and it'll never come off.
Mm.
So which
That's
is
true.
I guess good and bad in a way, because one thing is tape it, and then when you want to reconfigure, you just pull the tape off and then you reconfigure.
But
it
if you have the
effectively.
glider version, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
it's all going to
Now,
be good.
and speaking of the glider, the FT
Light.
Light, which is the non-RC glider version,
Mhm.
I haven't been taping those because it's very solid. You don't have all these joints and stuff.
Right, that's true.
You could crack it, I guess.
Mhm.
Still, I would still say taping would be a better
The
idea.
the tail area.
Yeah, the
yeah,
tail and
maybe.
stuff. But I mean,
Oh,
these things take a ton of abuse.
Mhm.
But my biggest fear is that people are gonna get the kit, they're gonna be so geared to fly, they're gonna take it out there and they're not gonna tape it. And if you don't tape it, it's not gonna be as awesome.
And then you fly it back towards the HQ and catch it in the tree. The nose snaps off. That was awesome.
I got to make sure Noah puts that in the video. I
Oh,
was
man.
so eager to test out.
Yeah.
We were changing the thrust angle. I think it's this piece right here.
Mhm.
I think, yeah, because it was the tractor, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Changing the thrust angle, and I brought it in pretty hot, and I caught it. But this just kept on coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the other day, he also flew the Tenant, the powered Tenant, with no power. It died. The battery died on you, right?
Mhm.
And he was like, I don't know, 100 yards out, 50 yards out, whatever it was, and he just do, and I caught it right at the window.
Oh
He's
my
like, I don't know if it's gonna make it, and he just champ. It was
Right
a
in
champ.
there.
It was awesome.
Well, what's convicting is the Tenant version of the Explorer glides, in my opinion, better than the Big Explorer.
Yes.
And that makes
I
me
would
kind of mad. It's like, son of a gun.
He's like, dag
Mm.
nabbit, I didn't realize
Yeah.
well I could.
Dude, I love I Am Phoenix, what he said there. Civil Air Patrol. I think he's talking about the Wonder Glider, or it was formerly known as the Easy Glider.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a
Until it's
fun
disintegrated.
check glider.
Yeah,
Nice.
I packed one of those over the other day. A Wonder Glider pack.
Yeah,
A
or
five pack.
maybe it was actually the Chuck Glider version of the Tiny Trainer, because there is a Chuck Glider variant too.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
right.
Nice.
So-
So this will be our last question because
Yeah.
we're coming up on time. Could you guys make a budget radio system? Well, we don't need to make one. We're
Right now we have one.
yeah.
So we are working with Flex on something for the future, but I think it's too early to even talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now Radio Master kicking all the marks. So
Yeah.
there you go.
They got multiple. They've got the new Zorro that is just being actually shipped to people that are buying.
We're bringing those in, right?
We're going to
Yep.
be bringing those in.
Good.
They also have an even further budget scenario with the T8 Lite
The-
version 2 or whatever.
But that's mainly for multi-rotor.
Yeah, multi-rotor. You're not going to necessarily, because it doesn't have trim tabs, right?
Right.
So you're not going to be wanting to fly a ton of fixed wing aircraft with that.
Mhm.
But for whoops,
There it is.
gremlins, tiny quads, whatever it might be,
There
just in
it
general.
is.
It's gonna be,
Oops,
it's gonna be
there
great.
it is.
So yeah, you got the whole line. So we're
Hey,
gonna be
Joe.
bringing that in.
I just saw Joe.
What,
Hi Joe.
See right there.
that one?
Boom. Yes. So by the way,
Hey, Joe.
anytime you see HWFF, that's Hot Wire Foam Factory.
Yes.
And look,
And-
Joe.
Yep. Thank you.
We're
Joe.
pushing on you right now.
Woohoo.
So literally, I was upstairs. We have the XL running, slicing the planks, and then
Mhm.
I have the Aero running, making the actual airplane. So I'm bringing these 4-foot chunks of foam, rotating 90 degrees, drop it on the XL, and it's just beast mode along. And
That's
in the
awesome.
same time, I'm cutting up the B-17 wing.
But it's funny
So-
because we were talking about Joe. Thanks for making it happen. By the way, we were talking, you and I, Josh, back and forth. I was like, "Oh, should we get the Aero machine or do we need it? Like we're already getting this other one." And thank God that you
Yeah.
decided to go
Get
forward
both.
with the Aero.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Joe and them helped hook us up there and did a really good job.
Joe, I do need to reach out to you guys. I'm going to be switching out the XL for the thinner wire, and I got the travels and the curve dialed in for the for stuff, but I got some big projects that I want the thin wire on, so I need some help with couple things that bounce off.
He's gonna come at you, Joe.
Hey.
Coming in hot.
right,
I
hey,
love those guys.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up. That
Yeah.
that wind and ice is getting a little bit worse out there.
Is that
getting
what
fun.
that tingling noise
That's
is?
Yes.
that's-
All right.
It's
Yeah.
bouncing off the
Hey,
windows.
pray for us on our way home.
Yes,
guys.
yes. And Stefan, last up, one
One.
word, not
Well,
not
make it-
two.
Okay, I got a
make-
really
make
good
it
one.
Deep.
I got a really good one.
Okay.
One word of wisdom.
Yes.
If you're trying to get into education and you're trying to make sure that the future of this hobby does not falter,
Tenet.
pick up a tenant and share whatever you can with your teachers and your STEM and your friends and family, because they're going to love it just like we do.
Yep.
Can't argue with that.
Boom.
Love you guys.
See you
See ya.
guys.